Do you want to hit golf shots like some of the best golfers in the world? Well, in today's video, that's exactly what I'm going to show you, because I'm going to help you get good at golf. Hi everyone, my name's James and welcome back to Get Good at Golf. If you'd like to do just that, take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button below, and of course, throw a like on this video. So today, we're at the glorious Woolley Park Golf Club, and I have my glorious Takomo Skyforger wedge with me, and we're going to play some different shots. You may have watched a golf tournament last week. What was it called, Bob? The Masters, wasn't it? Yeah, everybody watched it. I was engrossed in it, especially on Sunday. And some of the short game shots that we saw were remarkable. It really makes you think, yes, these golfers like Rory, obviously, congratulations on the Grand Slam. That was phenomenal. Whether you're a Rory fan or not, you've got to give it to him. But Justin Rose, even like Patrick Reed, all these players, yes, they hit fantastic drives, very consistent iron shots, but it's with these clubs that they end up making their score. They rescue themselves time and time again, and we're going to show you a couple of tips today what you can do with your arms and your chest to help you strike these shots better, because just by tucking in a few little kind of moves you can really start to enhance your levels around the greens. And I always think it's a bit of a kind of backward chain method, in that if you have a really good short game, generally your iron play will pick up because you're not under as much pressure to hit the green, which means you're under less pressure to hit the fairway. So guess what your driver game does? It gets better. It gets a lot better. So this is a really difficult chip. This is one of the most difficult chips here at Woolley Park Golf Club. It's up a ridge, it's down a ridge, it kind of bowls off to a bunker. It's almost as Augusta-esque as you can get. So that's why we've chose this area. And you'll see, to play these kind of shots here, it's really difficult to get the exact right distance. I've just played a normal basic chip shot there, and that ball's run all the way through. Now, how can I play different shots, and how can I get that strike on point every single time to generate a little bit of backspin, help it stop, and then potentially just kind of move down that slope? So what I want you to feel like you do here is use the weight of the club head around your body and use the momentum of that club. So you can see that as I'm moving around here, I'm brushing the turf, and you can really see how that club face is rotating around my body. So what I'm trying to do there is utilize my chest a lot more to generate the rotation of the club. I'm not trying to use the hands massively. I'm not trying to move the arms massively to generate that club head speed. And club head speed's a really interesting debate when it comes to clubs like this, when it comes to your wedges, even when it comes to your putter. Every golf shot features some form of club head speed. A lot of people think that's just with your driver or your irons, but even here you're going to generate some momentum, which is obviously classed as that speed. But I want to make sure it's in a rotational manner. I want to make sure the club's moving up and down throughout that rotation here. So one of the things that we see so often that can go wrong around here is people who, first of all, are far too handsy. So we get that kind of shot where it just kind of closes down a little bit. There's potential for you to even hit it out to the right because you're not handsy in time, so it kind of leaves it open. And the other shot that people get wrong, we're covering all the negatives to kick off because why not, is no rotation at all. Oh dear. And that's what a lot of golfers generally do struggle with. So just allowing yourself to make sure that you get the right amount of rotation, the right amount of speed, and of course the correct dynamic loft means you've ticked every box. If you get the strike, if you get the loft, and if you get the speed, you've got everything. You can't fail. It's just then a case of practicing to make sure you know your landing areas. Now, what I want to make sure I'm doing here is I have the ball position in the right place, I have a bit of forward shaft lean, and as I move around here, you'll see that's that spin generation that I was talking about. That's the shot where, as I allow the club to work through, my hands actually stay nice and close to my body. I'm not thinking too much about reaching out here to have a really nice high finish. I'm almost shortening that lever system towards the end of the shot. So just because I've kind of nipped it, is a phrase I like to use, I've nipped it off the turf and allowed that club to rotate, it's still catching up the whole way. What I don't want to do is just drive the club at it and hold it out here, because that's a surefire way of destroying all your confidence around the greens and hitting those kind of 3 shots that we discussed right at the start of the video. So I'm pleased with that as a shot. Now, what if I want to maybe play it a little bit higher? So I'll have the spin, but also have a little bit of landing angle. All I'm going to really do, the first shot was here with forward shaft lean. I might move it more to the center by 1 inch or 2 inches, still stay nice and narrow, but have a little bit less forward shaft lean. I'm not all the way back here, but I'm certainly not too far forward as I was with the first one, because what happens, and my dad always used to do this, I've tried to teach my dad short game for all his life, and unfortunately he never got it. But if you have too much forward shaft lean here, that brings in this really sharp leading edge. And if we bring in the sharp leading edge, that's a really, really quick way to get too much negative ground interaction, and it kind of slows down all that club head speed. So you might get away with some shots, but you'll never be consistent. You'll never get those kind of really nice shots like I feel like I've just played there. So just by moving it forward a touch, this is where the best players in the world, when you're watching the Masters, will just have a checklist. Right, what's my ball position and how high do I want to hit it? Because from there, I know exactly what I'm trying to do. So I move the ball position forward a bit, less forward shaft lean, play that same little kind of sawn off one across, and you can see again it's had that little bit of spin on it. It's maintained that shot that I wanted to hit, and it's still on that green from a really, really difficult angle. Now you can take that as far as you want. You can move it forward in the stance, you can open the face up, you can start to play some really nice kind of high lofted shots like that. Obviously when you do that, it does kind of bring in those boundaries of that wasn't a percentage play. If there was a big cavernous bunker out to go over here or a bush or something, then obviously making sure that you have that face open and have that lovely high lofted shot like I just played there is a very sensible shot to play, but most of the time you don't really need to. What I would say about that is it's certainly a shot that I would practice and try to have in my arsenal. When I was playing at my best and I was really working on my short game, all I was doing was learning about how the club interacts with the ground and how having different lofts with the same club really, really helps me. So you'll see here we've got a club, and it's a Takomo Skyforger with 56 degrees of loft and 12 degrees of bound. So that's a really nice neutral sand wedge in anyone's book. So from there, I know I can play the low one, I know I can play the high one. Evidently I just needed more speed on the first one, but the key is to have that quality of rotation. So if you have your weight slightly on your left foot, probably 60–70%, I know you're going to generate the strike, because we don't want to see the weight go backwards, we want to see it maintained on that left side. That's why we have that nice narrow stance, and that's why we can afford to play those shots we've just played there that pop up in the air. So from there, I feel like it's massively about the chest rotation and allowing the club's momentum to release itself, and that's how I'm going to start generating all those different shots. And you can see there, even with a little bit of a duffy one, to be honest, I've gotten away with it, and that's the best demonstration that you've had. Because even some of the best players in the world, I'm really pleased I've played you that one towards the back end of this video, because the key isn't how good is your good, it's always been how bad is your bad. And if your good is okay and your bad is okay, I guarantee you'll get good at golf.